Okay, good evening. We're going to call the meeting to order. You can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item number 3 is our public comments, or any persons wishing to make public comment during this meeting on any items not listed on the agenda may do so at this time. You can come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Steve Fidel, and I've been seeing a flashing sign up the street here about fire department expansion, and I was kind of interested in it. And so I actually got a copy of the proposal for the fire department expansion. And
Steve, we need you to speak into the microphone so that everyone can hear, because it's being recorded as well.
Everybody can't hear me?
No, it's being
recorded.
What's that?
This is recorded as well.
Oh. Well, there you go. My background is I'm a mathematician, and I'm retired. But I went through the proposal.
Microphone.
I went through the proposal. It's just a couple pages long, and I saw 3 glaring math errors. Now, if I got something with 3 math errors from my bank, I'd get a new bank. If somebody wanted me to invest $2 million a year and has 3 major math errors in it, I'm not investing. And I wonder why there's such a push to go from what we have to 19 more firefighters, 19 professional firefighters. I don't see a glaring need. And according to the statistics, we average about 1 fire every other day. Now, there's other calls for other things, but 1 fire every other day. So I'm not seeing a glaring need. However, I got a chance to interview the chief a couple months ago, and he had a really interesting point, which I jumped on. I don't know if anybody else would jump on it. They have a program for volunteers. If you spend the night at the station on call, you get a $50 stipend. I'm cheap. That got my attention. So I was thinking about what could we do on weekends, and I just thought if we made something available, such as a $100 stipend to spend a weekend day to get people there.
I think
that
we're
might
at
work.
100 already.
I know that changed since the last meeting, but the point is there a dollar amount? So hang on. It's a little math here. This is what I do. And I looked at the cost. It's probably not getting recorded.
Are you able to share with us what errors you found?
Oh, I can.
Yeah,
But,
to know what they were. You said 3 glaring ones.
yeah.
To know what those were.
Okay. Now, as you can see here, I came up with an estimate cost of a firefighter, and I did that based on, I did a search on open firefighter positions in the Philadelphia area, came up with 36 of them. That's a statistically relevant sample size, and found out that the average benefits are a certain percentage. So basically, you're looking at $54 an hour for a full-timer. And I propose trying to get volunteers for $100 a day at the fire station. Saves 82%. Okay. Now, do we have those volunteers currently? No. Do we have 19 full-timers? No. How are you going to get them? You're going to overpay. So by offering the $100 stipend, or maybe another number, we'll be able to get volunteers from other fire departments to come to our place. Now, one of the things I was thinking of is our volunteer staff is on the older side, like myself. Okay. And we need younger blood in the volunteer department. And I was thinking of approaching Montco and doing recruiting there. The reason is there's people in Montco that are majoring in things that aren't going to take them to San Francisco to work on high tech. So there's a lot of people around. And I thought if we could get some young people in the pipeline to be volunteer firefighters, we may not even need full-time firefighters at any point in time if we have enough. Now, the question isn't if we have enough. The question is getting good people. And for the $2 million that we want to spend, I have a list up there, and I will hand it to you, I did a quick search and I found over $600 billion worth of grants for fire departments available in the United States. Now, if we don't have people currently looking for these grants, I think we should walk across the street in Chamonix Falls and tell those people we didn't do our homework. We're going to raise taxes when we looked $600 billion in the face and did nothing. And I think that's unconscionable. Oh, my favorite grant is tuition reimbursement for volunteer firemen. So that goes in with the Modco ad.
And what is this that you're handing out?
As I said, this is a list of grants
Other grants.
that I looked up. This is just a cursory.
Did you give our chief copy of this?
What's that?
Did you give our chief? Our chief, our
I got it.
chief
I have
of
an extra copy if you want.
Oh, second to the, yep. Yeah. Is there a note? Yes.
But basically, what I'm saying is there's not a crying need to rush into 19 full-timers, and there are alternatives available. Am I smart enough to think of the only alternatives available? No, I'm not. But I would consider talking to other people. There's six fire companies in North Penn. We could talk to them and how are they handling expansion of population, which is what we're going through. So it's something that I would consider. I know last meeting it was voted down using a consultant. I'm not a big fan of consultant. I think a consultant is just somebody from out of town. But I do believe there are other towns in the same situation we're in and don't want to spend $2 million a year by hiring 19 people when there may be other solutions at hand. Are these the only ones? I don't think they are, but I think there's more. You asked for.
Can I just say one thing, two
Sure.
things, Steve? First of all, there is a limit to how long you can speak.
Excuse me?
There's a limit for how long you can speak.
Yeah, I figured there would be.
Number one. Number two, if you haven't taken an opportunity, I encourage you to go back to our past meetings because a lot of what you're saying has come up for sure. And just some thoughts and ideas around other things that our chief has proposed, has
Last time it
done.
was on the agenda. I was at the meeting and I was the only person who spoke about it. So
No. Oh, we've had many meetings, and there has been a meeting for the community as a whole that specifically was on fire, that was taped, that's out there to view. We are hoping to have another meeting. I think November 10th. I might be speaking too loud. I don't know if I'm over speaking, but I think November 10th is the date that we are specifically on fire. So I encourage you to come to that as well.
I'll come. I was just hoping to get this on the record before any vote takes place.
Yeah.
Now talking about some of the errors. There's a
Yeah,
call
do
data
fine.
type
Say it again. I'm sorry.
errors
Okay.
in the report. A summary of annual call data types. Electrical equipment problems went from 38 in 22 to 33 to 289. I'm sorry. That number jumps out. That sticks out like a sore thumb. We're far beyond 3 standard deviations out of the norm on that one. The totals on the report don't add up. If you just add up a column of numbers, one would hope using Excel or whatever, you can get a total to agree with the numbers in the table. And it didn't happen. Summary of annual calls by month, 22 to 24. Again, the actual total and the report totals do not add up. I mean, this is Excel. Or somebody like me grew up on Lotus 1, 2, 3. The whole point being, it seems like it was rushed. And if it's rushed, I mean, we don't have to rush into something like this. I think that there may be other alternatives that we could pursue. And I think a longer look is needed into that before we're spending $2 million. And it's not like we're spending $2 million and we're cutting, okay, we're going to cut Netflix, right? No, we're not doing that. That's not part of the deal, that we're cutting something to come up with this $2 million. So I think the people in the town deserve all efforts being made to come up with a solution that is not going to be the high price solution. There may be a cost involved, but I don't think you have to go the whole 9 yards right away. And I don't think that there's a big crying need that calls are going unfulfilled right now.
So we are, again, nothing has been decided yet, nothing has been voted on, but so we appreciate your input. Again, I encourage you to come to November 10th if you can make it, to come to the meeting, because I think there'll be some additional information shared, as well as just information that's already kind of out there right now to look at. And then we are attempting to look at, other choices around what we can do. So nothing has been fully decided yet.
As it stands right now with respect to the grants,
Yeah.
chief doesn't have somebody working for him that can spend the time writing these grants. And that's not really something that you would want a firefighter to do. That's not the best use of their time. But there are grant writers. Applying for my PhD, I had to write a grant. It's not the most honors thing in the world, but it's something that there are people that can specialize in doing that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And with the number of grants available, it's something that really you have to do. You can't give away money, and it's my money. I don't want it given away. So,
Chief, is
hopefully
there
that's
anything you wanted to say at this
possibly
right
do.
now, or I hate to put you on the spot, but anything?
I can just say that, as been explained before, that the reason that the numbers for the response types differ from the numbers that were ran for the data that was used is the sample size is different. That's correct. The reason why the sample size is different is because when we ran the statistics, we ran it for first arriving apparatus, and we have several calls that don't have an apparatus response. So fire police calls, EMS QRS calls, officer only calls. So we didn't use that in the sample size for the study because those calls don't necessitate a engine response. So that's why that's different, and that's why on the website it's explained that the sample size is different because those calls were removed because they're not measuring anything because we don't have an engine responding on those calls. The electrical fires has come up before, and the reason is because in the annual report, our software has, when we put the graph in the annual report, it goes by 100 series, which is by NIFRS. So there was a little bit of change in how we displayed electrical fires. It's just not electrical fires outside. It's also now encompassing electrical wiring issues, hazardous conditions, those types of things. So we did look into that the last time it was brought up. As you know, several people from the public have reached out. I've met with them and have gone over the raw statistics with them, but I still believe that the sample size, when I gave you the report in June, it was 1,600 incidents. Somebody from the public asked me to do it from that date in June, June 6th to today, which was done today. We entered all the calls in that fit into the sample size. So tomorrow I was going to email the board the updated review of the data from June 6th to today. As far as grants are concerned, I appreciate you not uh, burdening me with writing more grants. We do have a grant writer. We currently do have a federal SAFER grant for $200,000 for recruitment and retention. Before that, we had a different SAFER grant for recruitment and retention. We just applied again for the Office State Fire Commissioner grant, which we do receive. Both organizations receive every year. I am familiar with the grants listed on your sheet. Thank you. A lot of them are equipment based, not just staffing based. SAFER is probably the largest recruitment and retention based grant that's out there. But I can certainly take a look at these other grants to see if they've changed to the recruitment of volunteers. We already have a relationship with Montgomery, the tech school. We do recruit at the high school. We've had interns from the tech school, and some of them are volunteers now with our department. The Fire Chiefs Association, which I'm a part of, just created a relationship with the tech school where seniors can go to the fire academy for their tech school externship to get their firefighter one and their EMT. We do have some kids right now who are in our Explorer program who are also involved with the tech school. So we are already having relationships with them. I think I mentioned to the board before, we currently do have 10 young people who are members of our department. And it's the first time ever that we are going to host a Fire One class in Montgomery Township, which is amazing. But the issue is that those 10 young people are under the age of 18. And which has been the problem for many years, is that we have a lot of young people who get their Fire One, and then because of the cost of homes, when it's time to leave mom and dad's or time to come home from college, they can't afford a house in town. So we train a lot of people for the upper parts of Bucks and Montgomery County. So we are, we are actively engaged in recruiting young people and grant writing and grant searching. The stipend payment was increased to $100 a shift. We are still having issues filling the schedule, even with the 100% increase in the last several weeks, to the fact where I am covering stipend shifts and I don't get paid for them. So I understand the stipend, the feeling to just throw money at the stipend program. I don't think that is sustainable as of right now. I also think that when we look at what our part-timers make per hour and how much we're going to pay people for stipend, that we might run into issues with a union grievance or something of that nature. When we look at the Emmaus decision and some decisions out of Washington about stipend programs, and we've seen other municipalities around us that I think Upper Moreland now is going to be paying $150 a shift for volunteers. So, I mean, it is an option, but it's just not as easy as saying, let's throw a ton of money at stipend. We could say, hey, we could bring our volunteers in as paid firefighters, as part-time paid. Might be a little cleaner for us, but then we lose them as volunteers because we do have a collective bargaining union, and therefore, if they're a paid employee and they're part of the union, they cannot volunteer. That's a federal court case. So the recommendation takes into account all of those factors and everything we've been doing since I've been a member as a volunteer in 2006 to 2020. We do have the township tax incentive rebate. We're working on a school district tax incentive rebate. We have the night stipend program. We also, with that SAFER grant, have paid for call, paid for training. So we do have, I think we have more incentives than a lot of other municipalities as far as how we get volunteers. I mean, I am open to any idea to get volunteers, because even if we do increase our career staffing, whatever that looks like, if that's something the board wishes to do, we're still going to be a combination. We're still going to need volunteers. And I believe that, the greatest concern about the mercenary approach for me, and this is just my concern as the fire chief, is that if we start bringing in people that we don't know just to fill shifts, then we lose the crew integrity. And what we know about firefighter line of duty deaths is that firefighters die when there's no crew integrity. And the worst thing I want to do is compromise the safety of my people. So, might be a long-winded answer, but I work for the board, and we are doing a ton to recruit volunteers. And I will say that, I presented you the report in October, and so we've been talking about this as a group for a while, in public, totally transparent. I mean, everything we do as a fire company. That's why the numbers. We publish our numbers every month. We have the GIS public dashboard that anybody can go in and see any of our responses at any time, because I believe in complete transparency. We haven't had people knocking down our doors saying, you're going to increase taxes, or you're recommending, sorry, that we're going to increase taxes. I want to volunteer so that doesn't happen. So there is that direct effect right now where if we get more volunteers, then we wouldn't need more career people. So, I mean, been speaking in front of you since June. I've done 3 town hall meetings. I've done a podcast. There was a North Penn News article. There was a CBS 3 interview. I mean, and we haven't seen a flood of people coming in to volunteer with us. So I wish they would, because we are a combination department. And the weekends, as you stated, sir, the weekends are very concerning. We are, and you'll see when I looked at the numbers today from June 6th to today about our weekend response times, it's not good. But if we can get more volunteers in now, and if stipend's the answer for the short term, then that's something that we can entertain. If the board wants me to increase the stipend funding, we can certainly do that. I'm sure Blaine would have to give me some numbers to prepare for you. I think that's.
I agree with what the chief says. I also think starting a fireman at $72,000 or whatever, they're not going to be able to live here either. Same with the volunteers. They got to move out. So affordable housing in this town is a whole other problem, but it's going to be hard to get fire people, full timers at that to live anywhere near here because it's too expensive. You can't address that now. But the point is, talking to the chief before, he pointed out that volunteerism is a blue collar phenomenon and that white collar people avoid it like the plague. And that seems to be the root problem, and I'm as guilty as anybody. I did not know this problem existed. Could I have volunteered over the years? Yeah, I probably could have, but I didn't. And I think people have to come face to face with what the alternative is. Okay, you don't want, I coached soccer for years, and the parents would rather write a check
So
than
Steve,
borrow.
we are going to have to
Okay,
kind of
all
cut
right.
it a little bit, but I appreciate, we appreciate you bringing it up, and thank you, Chief, for explaining again.
And just to say, our career staff, there is no requirement that they have to live in the municipality.
Right.
So.
I don't know, Steve, did you hear that? Okay, I didn't know if you knew that. Okay.
Want to check? We're in public comments.
Oh, yeah, no,
Okay.
come forward. Yeah, this is public comment still.
Homer Lozardo, 119 Embassy Drive. I just had a quick comment. I know Friday, I believe there was a workshop to work on the 26 budget plan. I didn't see anything. When will there be a draft or anything published for the public to be able to look through that proposal?
What's our date?
November 10th.
November,
November
have it in
10th
front of
will
me.
be the meeting.
That's the meeting where
Yeah.
we vote
Where
to
we vote.
advertise.
Correct.
It'll be
Yeah.
advertised ahead.
I would say be available to the public after the November 10 meeting.
So we won't be able to see a draft until y'all already are looking at it and voting on it?
No, we're not voting on it in November 10th.
Okay, so November
No.
10th
We're
is
gonna
still
look at it.
released.
So that's when we're going to be, because we've asked for some additional numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing is finalized yet.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I realize it's a draft, but I'm
right.
just trying to understand when I see it, or am I going to have any time to really dig into it and ask questions of the board?
It's not getting voted on the 10th. That's just the first discussion.
So when does it have to be voted on by?
End of the year,
End of the year. Okay.
December 31.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
I have a question about the audited financial statements. Previous years, they were issued in June. This year, we still don't have audited financial statements. So I want to know what the delay is. There are financial statements posted, but if you go to the report, they're all unaudited. So it's a little concerning that the finance director left in September. We have unaudited financial statements. When are we going to see the final ones?
Can you speak to that, Blaine?
Yeah, what do you mean they're unaudited?
Well, if you look at the report on page 25 onward, the heading it has unaudited, 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 unaudited.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. That is the audit report. I mean, we have it back from the auditors. There was a gap. The prior finance director left in September. I started in April. So it just took us a while to get it wrapped up after I started. I don't know why that says unaudited.
It's not on just one page. It's on all the pages after 25. So
Carolyn
it's quite
wants to
concerning.
talk. Carolyn wants to say something.
So the audited financial statements, there is a section called the MD&A, which is Management Discussion and Analysis. Those pages are a statement from the township about our financial statements. Those are never audited. The rest of the financial statements are. And the 24 audit was completed. It's posted on the website. And we received a clean opinion from the auditors.
Yeah.
But there
Yeah.
is a
So
section
there
that
is
they
that
don't
section
audit.
there.
I'm sorry, Blaine.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. There's that section there, and there's the section in the back. That's just information that we provide. That's not from the auditors.
You would think the audited financial statement should be at the front. So,
That's not our discretion how they're formatted.
No.
Okay, any other public comment? Okay, yes. Just a little short announcement from Supervisor Bamford.
I just am aware of what's going on with Hurricane Melissa and the catastrophic effect that it's about to have on the island of Jamaica. And we wanted to let everyone out there with friends and family in Jamaica and know that we're keeping the people of Jamaica in our thoughts during this time. And we'll make sure to share information on how you can support efforts toward their recovery in the aftermath of this catastrophic Category 5 hurricane that's about to impact their island. So if you would like to join me, please keep Jamaica and the people of Jamaica in your thoughts during this very difficult time. Thank you.
Thanks, Tanya. Okay, item number 4, announcement of executive session, Township Solicitor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, the Board of Supervisors met in executive session on Monday, October 20th at 3:30 p.m. in person and via Microsoft Teams related to a township personnel matter. The topic is a legitimate subject of an executive session under the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Sunshine Law. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 5 is our consent agenda. Consent agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented for the following minutes of the October 13, 2025 Board of Supervisor meeting and payment of bills for October 27, 2025.
Second.
Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 6 is the to authorize amended stipulated agreement, Joseph Ambler Inn. Marianne McConnell.
The owners, Richard and Janet Hallman, have owned and operated the Joseph Ambler Inn located on a 12.5 acre parcel at 1005 Horsham Road since 1983. Throughout the years, zoning relief has been obtained to expand the inn and its operations. In July of 2003, the Board of Supervisors entered into a settlement stipulation resolving the Joseph Ambler Inn land use appeal. Specific conditions were included within this agreement. The property has been for sale, and the previous equitable owner requested amendments to the existing settlement stipulation in order to continue operating the inn successfully. This amended agreement was approved by the board during your May 2025 meeting. We have new equitable owners have reviewed and amended the agreement and request that the board approve the updated successor information and updated compensation amount for the proposed public trail easement. The proposed amended agreement is attached for your review. We do have the two gentlemen here this evening if they wanted to introduce themselves or if you have any questions for them, as they are apparently as of yesterday, the new owners of the Joseph Ambler Inn.
Congratulations.
I was going to say, congratulations. We are happy.
Evening, everybody. We're excited to be here in this town. We're both from Montgomery County for many years. We found this opportunity. We worked with the Almonds and with the council. We decided that we should take it forward in the same use, no change. We think it's a great opportunity for us as well as for the community. We just like to say that we want to do whatever is best for everybody in this community.
course, with your support and everything, we will keep everything the same as it says, but just make it a little better. Add some legs to it.
Welcome to the community. Welcome.
I'm right here in Bluebell.
Oh, okay.
I'm not too far.
Mhm.
And I'm in Huntington Valley, so
Yeah.
not too far.
Nearby.
Introduction, my name is Sunny Gularia.
My name is Tilak Singh.
So, anything else?
If you have any questions for us, you're more than
Any
welcome.
questions for our new neighbors?
No, just know that we consider it to be a gem and appreciate anything that you're going to do to allow us to keep that gem and improve it.
Yes,
We have the same vision.
that's it.
That's the reason we came in for. Hopefully, we can make it better.
Wonderful.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
both.
so much for coming in.
Thank
So
you for
before,
investing in Montgomery
before
Township.
you today is the
Motion.
approval sought for the execution of that amended stipulation agreement that you previously had reviewed. The one issue that was sort of revised is the requirement to enter into that easement agreement for the pedestrian trail. I know that we haven't gotten a chance to talk about the details of that easement. I don't think there's going to be anything significant, but I'm sure they're going to have questions related to some legalese that might be in there, particularly when it comes to something that was related to indemnifications to protect you from injuries as a result. And we do have that in there. And I'm happy to have that discussion with you or your attorney if you'd like. So if the board wanted to approve that amended stipulation today, I just ask that we be given some ability to maybe work out any terms to the solicitor's office satisfaction related to both the trail access easement agreement and also a construction easement that would allow that to go through. If there was anything that was significantly different, I certainly would come back to the board. But if it's just sort of language, small details, to trust the solicitor's office to look at into your best interest. Just again, a little bit of flexibility, but still, if you want to move forward, so they know that they can proceed with their uses. We can get the court filing that we need to do finished. I think that'd be helpful. Again, that's what the board's inclination is to do.
Yeah, I'm fine to move forward. I don't know if anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns. You good?
I don't. I'd be happy to make that motion
Okay.
as amended by the solicitor to allow for the negotiation, like final clauses.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Any public comment on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Okay, item number 7 is to consider Pecan Drive 4-lot subdivision and land development, LDS-25-001. Marianne McConnell.
So WGR Group LLC has submitted an application to subdivide the existing vacant parcel at the corner of Pecan Drive and Beechwood Drive into 4 residential building lots. The existing parcel measures 2.37 acres. The proposed lots will measure between 20,002 square feet and 26,006 square feet. 3 lots will front on Pecan Drive, with the 4th having driveway access on Beechwood Drive. The applicant has provided a conceptual layout and stormwater management design for each lot, but requests deferral of detailed design until the time of building permit applications. The applicant will be required to demonstrate compliance with the stormwater management ordinance requirements at the time each lot is developed. 5 waivers are being requested that will be reviewed by Mr. Mast, and the draft resolution is prepared by the township solicitor, is included in your packet. Staff and consultants have had the opportunity to review the details of the plan, and the corresponding review letters and waiver requests are also included in your packet, along with the minutes of the September 18, 2025 Planning Commission meeting, when the application was presented and reviewed there. If the board chooses to grant this subdivision plan approval, they will need to do so by adopting the resolution drafted by the Township Solicitor's Office. The requested waivers are for consideration by the board. We do have the applicant's engineer here tonight, Mr. Mast, to present the subdivision application for your approval.
Good evening, everybody. Can I walk from the table? Sure. Okay. And, okay, there it is on the screen.
When you say next, they'll move to the next slide.
Okay. So you can see the site is highlighted at the corner of Pecan and Beechwood Drives. Pecan on that photograph is to the right and Beechwood is to the left. This parcel was part of what was originally called the Lansdale Estates subdivision, which was developed in the late 40s and 50s. And this parcel was supposed to be subdivided, or it was actually subdivided back then, but it was never built upon. And I really don't know the answer to why it wasn't built on, but it's just been there and had never had a house built on it. If you go to the next slide, I did find a photograph from 1971, and even in 1971, which I think is 17 years after the subdivision, you can see it looks like there was some clearing or preparation, but no homes were ever built. Next slide. And this is our proposed subdivision. So the 3 lots to the right would all take driveway access from Pecan Drive, which is also to the right on the plan. And the 4th lot, which is the rather long lot on the left, would take access to Beechwood. As Marianne stated, we did design a stormwater management basin, and it's shaded on each of the 4 lots, so each would be independently controlled. But as part of this, we're also proposing a stormwater piping network along both roadways, which serves to improve the drainage of the roadways, but it also will collect the stormwater from each of those basins when the lots are built upon. Next slide, please. This is just an existing survey of the tract as it exists today. As I had mentioned, because it was not built on, it was not maintained, it has grown up into trees. So we have survey located every tree. We've accounted for every tree that would be removed if all 4 lots are developed. And then we have done the tree replacement calculations and are proposing the required number of replacement trees. We're not asking for any relief from the tree replacement ordinance. If you go to the next slide, that's a conceptual arrangement of houses and driveways and how it fits in. The what I'll call white space between the 3 lots on the right and the house on the left, the bulk of that is preserved trees, and then the rear of the house on the lot would all be preserved as well. So it would be tree protection fence installed, and none of that would be disturbed during construction.
What about the rest of that long on the left-hand side, so that see where the home would be there, but above it? What is that?
Same thing. That would be protected.
Just
yeah. We have. In fact, I think if you go to the next slide, it's the landscaping. So we've actually proposed that one back. If you go back to the plan, right there. Oh,
one bar right there.
That one. So you can see the darker circles behind there are proposed trees, but they're interspaced between the existing trees. So the lighter circles are existing. We're preserving all of those and adding some additional trees as well. And then you see there's kind of a squiggly line. That's all preserved woodland. So none of that would be touched. And that's kind of all the area between those homes. And then all of those circles, various symbols, are proposed trees along the street frontage and also in the stormwater management areas. There's quite a bit of landscaping actually proposed, but also required. The 5 waivers we're requesting. If you're familiar with the neighborhood, it does look like a neighborhood that was developed in the 50s. It's a quiet neighborhood. There are no curbs or sidewalk anywhere throughout it. And even for some of the lots which are developed much more recently, there's no curb or sidewalk. So we're requesting waivers from any additional roadway widening and curbing. However, as I mentioned, we are proposing stormwater piping network today along both road frontages where there actually is none existing. So we feel we're improving from a stormwater management standpoint. And I'm just going to run through these, and if you have any questions, just interrupt me. Sidewalks, and I realize respectfully in asking this, sidewalk is a very important issue. I don't think I've ever done a project in Montgomery Township that did not have sidewalk. We do ask the waiver here with a fee in lieu of, only because I don't believe that sidewalks would ever be extended in this particular case. So I'd just ask the board to consider it for this particular site. I think the fee in lieu of maybe would be a better solution in my opinion, because you could use that for maybe where it's more appropriate. If the board did not see fit to grant that waiver, we would install the sidewalk. Streetlights, same issue. We're just trying to keep the neighborhood basically as it is. Didn't think it appropriate to erect streetlights in that location. The next waivers with regard to existing features. The ordinance typically requires showing existing features and survey 400 feet beyond the property. That would be probably about 6 times the area of this site. It is a waiver that's been granted in other projects, but I always couch that waiver request with, if the township engineer would like us to show something, we would add it to the plan. To my knowledge, there's no comments requesting any additional information. And then the last waiver request is to just consider the plan as a preliminary and a final. We have gone through the review process. There's very little in terms of plan comment remaining. So it, because of the size of this project, seemed appropriate to consider it a preliminary and final concurrently. And the only thing that, and I'm not sure, Marianne, whether you mentioned this or not, but the Planning Commission, we were in front of the Planning Commission, the Township's Planning Commission, and they did also recommend approval of the project. So I'd be happy to answer questions.
I'll just add that the Planning Commission, several members who do live in older neighborhoods like this felt that sidewalks would be an eyesore or just would not help the aesthetic of the new homes.
That was the informal feedback from the Planning Commission. They didn't, they didn't include that formally, but that was their informal feedback.
Yeah, I did read that in the notes.
The county planning commission, though, recommends the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Right. And given that this is 4 parcels that are all going to be developed
On a corner
with through traffic, and given that each one of these is likely to have multiple vehicles, and then you add to that all the additional delivery vehicles that'll, deliver goods, so you're increasing traffic significantly. So I think it makes good sense to have pedestrian refuge on a sidewalk. Whether or not they need curbs, I'd be willing to say, as long as we had the sidewalks, I'd feel comfortable there. I don't know what kind of impact the curbs might have on stormwater either, but they are actually putting that additional drainage in there, so that would mitigate for that. So, I'm not even sure that we necessarily need to grant the waiver for curbs either. But if I had to have one and not the other, then I would strongly advise having the sidewalks.
I think we also recently approved homes along Sycamore. New development, and we also asked them to have sidewalks in that. So in that same development, I think it was 3 or 4 new homes there. We asked for sidewalks there as well, again with no curbs because of runoff and so forth. So I think that's consistent within this specific neighborhood, even within the last several months. That request came in for the sidewalks as well. I have one more question about the trees that are behind each one of those. You said in a preserved. So that would be, there would be a stipulation that people could not put in sheds and so forth in that area. Would that be something that they would be limited into how it could be developed in the future?
There is no such restriction on the plan. What's required for us to do when we subdivide it is document it, and all of that is documented on the plans, and it's very strict in the way it's handled during construction as well. I think there's an inspection before this construction and inspection after construction to make sure that the builder adhered to the plan. But beyond that, with the homeowners, I don't know how the township has handled that.
Can we deed restrict that? Can we deed restrict for open, for preserved?
Is it preserved through, you said it was,
Well, when I say
Preserved.
preserved, the development is not going to remove those trees. We will have a very specific staked line. It'll be marked with fencing, temporary fencing to protect the trees during construction. But that protection doesn't necessarily extend to the homeowners when they buy it.
so there's not a third party or third party entity that's not already preserved land that you're building on? Yeah, I mean, you would have to provide some sort of restriction related to that area that the township would be able to have some record of to maintain related to the use. Otherwise, you know, they would not be allowed through our commonly applied and generally applied landscaping covenant to remove the landscaping that's being installed. But for the existing landscaping, usually it doesn't apply to existing landscaping. But removing landscaping to put in a shed is different than putting in the shed. Are you trying to say we don't want something to come down to put in a shed, or do you say we want to have that preserved? We don't want any structures being built in that area.
I was just asking for clarification.
I haven't seen it on any previous subdivision
Right.
that we've done in the township. The street trees have always been deed restricted, and the buffer trees. I haven't seen any other trees restricted and required to be replaced on other properties and other subdivisions for
A future building
decades.
permit will require submission of plans and documentation of stormwater management and those types of issues as well, right? So
Correct.
you would have some of that protection that's already in the ordinances.
Okay.
But it is someone's private property, so
Right.
if they want to chop all those trees down, they can.
Right. No, the way he presented it, it sounded as if they were somehow preserved. I'm like, I've never heard of that before.
Correct.
Okay, just want to make sure we were clear on that.
So do we want to go through each of the waivers and make a decision on them? So if I'm not mistaken, this first waiver, requested from providing additional paving, widening, and cubing along the existing roadways because the property is an infill property and part of an older residential. So you didn't want anything wider than what's already.
Just going to leave it as is throughout the
okay.
community, yes.
Yeah. So I'm okay with that.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Same.
And then the sidewalks is number 2.
I would deny
I
the
would
waiver
I would
for
deny that.
sidewalks.
Yeah. I just to remain consistent, because I know that that's something that we try to strive for. And then
So for staff point of view, I don't know if you want to take a vote on that.
Want to
if
take
you
a-
have the
okay.
numbers. I mean, staff's going to need to know
specifically.
what the position of that waiver is granted or denied by majority.
Denied.
Yeah, deny.
I think it's unanimous with denial.
And then for the record, the expectation would then be that the fee in lieu, which is item 20, would not then be applicable.
Right.
You can't double dip on that.
Yep.
Right.
Streetlights.
We didn't talk about streetlights. Are there streetlights on the rest of the street?
No, there's nothing.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah, there's nothing
I
over
would-
there.
I'd be in favor of granting that.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm okay with that.
Yep, grant, approved.
Okay, that's unanimous. And then the waiver for the 400 feet of the site.
I'm okay with that.
Same.
Yeah, I'm
Granted.
good.
And the last is
The concurrent.
Preliminary and final.
grant.
And I'm good.
We're all good? Everything but sidewalks.
Everything but the side.
Okay.
So that's approved. So,
Okay.
We love our sidewalks.
finish sidewalks.
Sorry.
You know, it's gonna be-
I know. I was like, you
Yeah.
tried. You tried.
All right, so can I make a motion to adopt the resolution number 2025-19 approving the subdivision application with the requested waivers as voted on,
Second,
submitted by WGR Group LLC.
second.
Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I will
you.
continue to be able to say I've never had a project in Montgomery without.
Sidewalk.
We're batting.
We're-
Planning Commission tried for you. They really did.
Thank you.
Still walking away with what he thought he would be, so still a win.
Yep. Item number 8, a review of zoning hearing board applications. Mary McConnell.
But before you are 3 applications before the zoning hearing board on November 5th, 2025. So you can make a motion, you could either let the zoning hearing board render their decision based on the application submitted and presented at that time, or you can make a motion to send the solicitor to oppose any of the 3 applications.
I didn't see any that I felt like we needed to appear in opposition of.
Agree.
Same. I agree.
Agreed.
I made some calls and it was all good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll remain neutral on the applications and we'll let the zoning hearing board render a decision based on the testimony presented. Thank you. Item number 9, authorize ordinance 25-351, amendments for traffic control, parking and trucks. Chief Peoples.
Thank you. At the August 25th, 2025 meeting, the board authorized the advertisement of ordinance 25-351 for amendments to the traffic control, specifically parking and trucks. The proposed changes included restrictions of truck traffic on Stump Road between Witchwood Drive and Welsh Road, prohibited parking on Country Club Drive at Pinecrest Lane, methods of parking to include prohibited overnight parking at township parks, and prohibition of parking of large trucks, commercial vehicles, trailers, and other large vehicles on any township road. As part of this new ordinances coming out, we are going to have a 60-day notice that we're going to put on vehicles and suspend it for 60 days as a notification thing. And on side, it's got information on the new ordinance as well as a QR code that'll take you to the law itself. So again, that's for 60 days. We're going to do that as it's a new ordinance. Staff recommends the board approve the proposed ordinance amendments.
Any questions?
Board thinking like that.
Okay, make a motion to approve the ordinance 25-351, amendments to traffic control, parking and truck restrictions.
Second.
Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Adoption of ordinance 25-352, red light camera enforcement late fee. Chief Peoples.
At the August 25th, 2025 board meeting, board supervisors authorized the advertisement of ordinance 25-352, red light camera enforcement late fee. This ordinance will amend the red light camera ordinance to include a collection fee for those motorists who fail to remit payment or appeal the violation in the prescribed period. The proposed collection fee is $35. Once the ordinance is adopted, the township solicitor will review and the township manager will execute the agreement with Municipal Collections of America Incorporated to service the township's third-party collection agency. Staff recommends the board adopt ordinance 25-352, red light camera enforcement late fees.
Questions? Okay, I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 25-352, establishing a collection fee of $35 related to the red light camera enforcement program.
Second.
Any public comment? Come on forward. You can state your name, your address. That would be great. Hi.
107 Cambridge Court. Are there signs to tell you that there's cameras?
There is. By law, you have to have a sign before the camera you approach to the intersection.
I thought so. And there's 2 locations currently now?
Correct. It's on 202 at Route 463 right here. It's on 202 north and south, and it's on 309 north and south at North Wells Road.
Okay. All right. If you say they're there, I didn't notice them. You know, I drive around all the time. I
Okay.
noticed the sign.
Ironically, it pops up on Waze too.
I'm sorry?
It comes up on Waze as well.
Yeah, I just saying to Mike, I don't use Waze to drive the
Yeah,
roads.
it is prescribed by law.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Thank you. All right.
No problem.
Thank you.
But apparently you've been obeying the traffic signals.
So well done.
So good job.
Any additional public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item number 11, authorization for the sale of additional municipal equipment by online. Chief Peoples.
At the October 13th, 2025 meeting, the board authorized the advertisement of the sale of surplus assets through Municipid, an online auction company. Municipid charges a consignment fee of 10% to the buyer with no charge to the seller. During the process of photography and created listings for the previous approved items, a police vehicle that was being stripped of equipment parts for a new car was returned to the station. That vehicle, along with 4 tires, can be added to the current auction list and included in one advertisement. The item being proposed for sale is a 2018 Ford Police Interceptor utility. It's the old 47.9 police car. The reason why we didn't have it on the previous one is because we didn't think we were going to get it back as quick. So the company just got back to us, so we're just trying to get it on there. As well as 4 OEM wheels and tire assemblies from a 2024 Jeep Mojave Gladiator, which was our community police vehicle that we got through the grant. Whatever the fund township receives for the sale of these items will be placed in the capital reserve. Staff recommends that the board supervisor authorize the sale of the additional items. Once the bids are received, the board will approve the awards to the highest bidders. Reserves will be set where appropriate.
Great. Any questions? Okay, we'll make a motion to authorize the sale of the additional equipment through the online auction company, Municipid, and to be added to the list of authorized on October 13th, 2025.
Second.
Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item number 12, consider award of contract for the preemption detection upgrades at various intersections along Bethlehem Pike, SR 0309. Gregory?
Thank you. The township received an open bid utilizing pen bids on October 17th of 2025 here at the township building. Gilmore and Associates, a township engineer, reviewed the 4 bids ranging from $113,200 to $136,500 and is recommending to award the bid to Armor and Sons Electric, the lowest responsible bidder, with a bid of $113,200. The recommendation letter and bid tabulation sheets are included in your packet. The board authorized the advertisement of the bid at its public meeting on June 23rd, 2025. A total of $100,000 was included in the 2025 capital investment plan for various traffic signal preemption detection upgrades along Bethlehem Pike. So our recommendation would be to award the bid as recommended to Armor and Sons Electric.
Any questions? Okay, we'll make a motion to award the contract for the traffic signal preemption detection upgrades along Bethlehem Pike to Armor and Sons Electric, Inc., the lowest responsible bidder, in the amount of $113,200 per the recommendation of Gilmore and Associates, Township Engineer.
Second.
Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 13, authorization to advertise bids for township facilities, waste and single stream recyclable materials collection and disposal. Carolyn McCreary, you going to speak on this? Are you there?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So can I do it for you? Can you hear me? Okay. So I'll read the background. The current 3-year contract for waste and recyclables collection and disposal will expire on December 31st, 2025. The total cost of that contract for 3 years was $70,707.60. Updated specifications that meet the needs of the various township buildings and locations have been created to solicit bids for the required collections for all township facilities with a 3-year contract. The bids are scheduled to be received and opened on Tuesday, November 18th, 2025 at 10 o'clock with a proposed award date of November 24, 2025 and a new contract executed before the end of the year. Any questions, comments? So I'll make the motion to authorize the advertisement for bids for township facilities, trash and recyclable material collection and disposal.
Second.
Any public comment?
Are we privatizing
waste and
No.
recycling?
No.
Because I didn't understand what the language was there. What are we doing with what's going on? What's proposed?
We're just putting it out for bid.
Yeah.
Every couple of years we get a
These
new
are just
contract. For this building, the rec center, the fire stations, they have recycling and garbage that need to be removed. So we contract for just that. It has nothing to do with residential.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, and then every few years we have to put it out to bid to the various companies.
Yeah, I'm going to step back off the ledge.
Thank you. Okay, make a motion, public comment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we're up to our new business department reports. This is where we have our reports that are prepared for the month of September. And I think, Mary McConnell, you're going to talk to us about the scanning project.
So for the last several years, our department has worked with ScanTech to further update and improve our procedures and data storage. We have a lot of paper, so we have moved to digitize a lot of it, and we have scanned decades worth of information, property files, zoning hearing boards, land development, conditional use, all the rolled construction plans we've had in the basement. We've been working on that for the last several years. We started talking to them about how we wanted them scanned, how we wanted them formatted. Then we had to clear all the files, get all the duplicates out. And so they've been scanning for about 2 years. We're looking to wrap it up in early 2026 and have everything completed. Once they're done with all their initial scan, we have the capability to scan in-house anything coming in now. And we do ask for the large plans to also come in PDF format so we can link it to the files and property files that we already have scanned in-house. It's scanned to a document management software called Laserfiche, and we all have access at our desks to these files, so it's been very helpful in being able to answer questions right on the phone. We don't have to run to the basement. We don't have to run and pull all the records that are all over the place. They're all now in one location. What's nice about it, you can also search by a keyword, and it'll pull from property files, land development, zoning hearing board, all those keywords. So it gives you the ability to do a lot more research a lot faster. It's helped with right to know requests. We've been able to just send a link to a file so that they're able to view. It's been very nice to have in the department and have quicker access to more information and research much faster. So yeah, we should be wrapping everything up finally. It's been 2 full years of scanning.
Wow.
That we've been working
What's
with them.
the schedule been, like every day scanning?
Now we're not scanning. They pick up bulk,
Oh, they're
and that they
taking
send it. Although Mary has done a phenomenal job reviewing what's coming in to make sure that they're scanning it so that we can easily find it.
Right. That was my one.
Instead of, like, I think land development initially we had our first round, it was a 700-page document. And we said, no, we need you to break it down into all the folders within that. And they reformatted it for us and did all that. So now we can research by folder instead of just one large scan.
So did they know what folders to put them in, or did you have to tab stuff?
We had to tab it. The prepping for us was the most work.
Yeah.
And then we're reviewing their scans. We take a sample, and if we find anything wrong, they go back and they're fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been wonderful to work with.
And I think I asked this way back, but I'm asking it again. Is there a retention period for the hard copies? Like, do they get sent to storage of some sort?
They will destroy them.
Immediately?
We did hold on to them for a year because we wanted to make sure that what was being scanned we were okay with and how they were doing it. And I think they'll hold them another 60 days after they send us the scans. But they are PDF format, which is acceptable for the state.
Right.
So we don't have to keep all the
I
paper.
remember asking that.
Any plans we do want back, we've requested a few. They do bring them back.
Okay. And then on the go forward, what's the scanning schedule? Is it going to be like something comes in, scan it immediately, or?
Right now, we put it in a drawer, just for. But I'd say Amy's been our primary scanner, and then Rebecca and Mary backup. They have been primarily, I'd say, within a month. We have them scanned. They do it periodically in downtime, but we do have a place where we store it, and then we can scan it, and we can either create a new folder or link it right to that property folder.
Great. Any other questions for Marianne? That's great. Glad we're coming to the end of it.
Yes. Yeah. It's been worthwhile.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, anything, item number 15, committee board liaison report. I just only had just one thing, my little seniors. Well, we met, looking over at Blaine, met with the finance committee. This was recent though. Just went over the audit information and had a good meeting, actually. I think it was a really good meeting. A lot of questions came up at the meeting. My little seniors, we're still moving along having our sessions. I just actually attended the most recent one, the Medicare one, which is one of the hits, the Medicare session that we had in the evening one, and there was upwards of like 40 something people there for it. And I think her name is Nancy Morris. She does a phenomenal job. I mean, she is a wealth of information for those that are coming up on that age or want to just know some information around it. So we continue with our sessions within the community that they really are loving. So all good.
Our Environmental Advisory Committee had to reschedule their meeting from this past month to tomorrow night. We're having a virtual meeting. So I'll report on that next time. I did have a meeting with the Northern Montgomery County Recycling Consortium, of which we're one of 11 municipalities that participate. And there's been an issue going on for a few years now, where there's been a delay of payment from the DEP for our recycling efforts here in the township, and not just for us, but for, this is widespread. They had a turnover in their personnel there at DEP, but what's normally an 80-day turnaround is over 400 days now. So this is a chunk of change that we are owed. We have a consortium of municipalities that are asking questions, as well as individual municipalities. It sounds as if they finally have someone to talk to at DEP, and so we're trying to get a finalized amount that will be due to us in the next, hopefully, few weeks. However, we're still unsure about what the stat. This is for 2023's from the fiscal year 2023. They're still going to pay us. So we're still trying to get to what the bottom of what is the status for 2024. Can we expect that in a much faster manner as we're doing our recycling as we should here and as a good community member. So anyway, I will keep you up to date on that, but we're hopefully making progress as the consortium and asking the right questions. But I think we will have, we do have about 4 different things we need to contact with our state representatives and senator to, on our behalf, talk to the DEP about these late payments. So just wanted to tell you about that.
So the Parks Board met. Parks Board, we did a feasibility study on the renovation of the Windlestray farmhouse, and that came in at $1.4 million, budgets being what they are. We're looking at grants that are available to help offset the cost of that renovation, as well as financing it through like a public-private partnership, maybe with another nonprofit organization, and engaging in some other fundraising activities, maybe like an annual golf outing, or Doylestown does that for their parks, and it's quite a successful annual fundraiser for them to help offset costs. So we're considering some possibilities there. I'll report back when I have more to say on that topic. The Sewer Authority met. Sewer Authority has had some expenses come in. They have anticipated expenses coming in that are in the millions of dollars to help renovate the Hatfield facility, which we own a third of. So they conducted a study on their rates and, to examine their finances, and they haven't raised their rates in something like 12 years. So they'll be here to present their budget on November 10th as well, and they are proposing a rate increase. So, we'll hear more from the Sewer Authority then, but they used a consultant to kind of work through all of their financial options, and I think what they've put together is a very fair plan. So we'll hear more about that from them on November 10th.
Planning and Shade Tree were both canceled. We didn't have quorum, so nothing to report.
The rec center, we just reviewed the gym floor replacement, which has been finished and is beautiful. If you haven't had a chance to get over there and see it, definitely go look at it and enjoy it and join the rec center. We're back in business. We're far exceeding what we had before the pandemic hit. So we're very happy with that. And then we also talked a little bit about the lights outside in the parking lot. No real decisions on that, but there was some discussion about that. The public safety, we all know about the fire department, and we've talked about that. We all know we're on board with that. Same with police and public works. So nothing really new that I have in notes to give anything else than what we've already talked about. There was one thing with the red light cameras. I will give you the numbers that, Chief, you had 1,043 violations and 808 citations issued. So people are.
What was the time frame in that?
Do you know what the time period was? That was the September report.
So that's just 1 month.
September.
1,043.
Right, so the 800 is, they give them all to us, we review them.
Okay.
And the 800, whatever it was the amount
808.
that the highway safety guys approved.
So those are actual citations.
800
Right.
citations just in the month of September.
That's correct.
Wow.
Wow. And we did discuss the e-bikes that are out there, and it was discussed that state law is already in place, so we're proceeding with that. We don't need anything else to limit e-bikes.
Okay. All right. I think anything else for the good of the group? I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good night, Carolyn.
Good night, Carolyn.
Bye, Karen.
Say a prayer for Jamaica.
Yes,
Seriously.
absolutely.